Hey, thanks for checking this out. This is going to be probably the hardest video I've ever made, just for the simple fact of it's very personal, very open, and really something that I'd buried 20 years ago and had no thought of ever bringing it up again. However, I do feel for the purpose of to help others, and I can give you all kinds of technical stuff, but anyway, purpose of helping others, I'm just going to share experience that I've gone through with some hard drugs. So about 15, 20 years ago, and this was at a low point in my life, as most times you get into bad things, it's usually in your low points. So I'd had basically a little brother die, get killed, and that same year I lost my business that I was involved with, and between the two things, just I didn't know what to make myself. I didn't know what to do. So I ended up getting around some people living in the same house that enjoyed crack cocaine. Now, as a younger person, 18, 19, in my teens, I had tried cocaine a couple times. Not really hard on it or whatever. I found it always kind of ruined my beer buzz, so I stayed away from it. But this time, it wasn't quite the same. We ended up smoking this stuff, and I got hooked on this stuff for, a good year and a half. And at the same time, and what it was every day I would just come home and there'd be a bunch of us and we'd get together, and that's what we would do. Now that was just more being around other people, I think, and just doing what they're doing, not so much that I was drawn to the drug itself. But there is an evil in that drug for sure. And at the same time, it also, because that was there, well, so was the other stuff, the crystal meth. And that was a good year and a half of that too, and it was something I was addicted to, that I used every day, and you could be up for days on that stuff. Horrible. Anyway, it took me a while to figure out how bad it was for me, and I think one of the biggest turning points was when I realized how bad a shape I was in, is when I'd seen someone that had been, I didn't really know them that well, but they had been using crystal meth for a long time, and they had a lot of scabs and scars, or scabs, I guess you should call it. Well, I was watching them scratch some of that scab off and then snort up what was there after. I mean, these aren't things you really want everybody to hear about, but whatever, it is what it is. Between that and anything from busting light bulbs to take the filament out of the inside and put your crystal meth in there and smoke that just to get... Anyway, it wasn't a great time in my life. But here's the reason I wanted to share that, and how I was able to get away from that, because I knew that wasn't me. And I knew, because deep down inside, that there was something better than that inside of me. Better than being stuck with those things. And they are evil drugs, because of the things it makes you do and your thoughts and how it destroys your body and your mind. So I was starting to realize that, but I had no value in myself. So I knew where I should be looking for my value, and that was to God, the one who made me, the Creator. I'd lost my way, forgotten who I was as a Christian, forgotten who I was as a person, forgotten a lot of stuff in that time. But what I'd found helpful is I went to Scripture. I took a Bible with me every day to work in my dump truck in Calgary, back and forth, and I would read and study and read and more to understand my value and who I was as a person. And as that lifted me up, and I became closer and closer with the understanding of who I was, those desires fell to the wayside. So guys out flying around his plane, having a great time. All of a sudden his dash light comes on. All these lights start flickering and going on and off. There's something wrong. There's something in the wiring in his plane, and it's causing problems. Come to find out, there's a rat up in there, and it's chewing away at that wiring. So what's he do? He can't get at it. So what's he do? He looks up, and he goes higher. And higher to the point where the oxygen level becomes so low that rat or mouse dies, and it's no longer a problem. Moral of the story, closer to God, farther from sin. Thanks for checking this out, and coming up soon is going to be part 2 to this, which will be something a little bit more recent, and I'm just going to share my experience with that. I hope this helps somebody out there that's going through some challenges or whatever. Just put your faith in God, keep leaning into Him, and He'll take those desires and change your life. Thanks again. Take care.